The moment you begin chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, something extraordinary happens. It's like striking a match in a room that has been dark for centuries. The darkness doesn't gradually fade away. It vanishes instantly. This is the profound truth that Nichiren Daishonin revealed when he compared Daimoku to light, explaining that just as a lantern lighting up a place that has been dark for 100, 1,000, or 10,000 years immediately banishes all darkness, our sincere prayers through Daimoku instantly transform our lives from within. This comparison to light isn't just poetic language. It reveals a fundamental law of the universe that operates in our daily lives. When we flip a light switch, we don't wait for the darkness to slowly retreat corner by corner. The entire room becomes bright in an instant. Similarly, when we offer our prayers through Daimoku with genuine faith, the transformation begins immediately in the depths of our being. This is what Nichiren Daishonin called the principle of the simultaneity of cause and effect. The moment we create the cause through our prayer, the effect is already manifesting in our lives. Understanding this principle can change everything about how we approach our daily struggles. Many people think of prayer as asking for something, and then waiting to see if their request will be granted at some future time. But Daimoku works differently. The very act of chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo with faith creates an immediate shift in our life condition. As the Daishonin wrote, at that very instant in the depths of our lives, our prayer has been answered. This doesn't mean our external circumstances change immediately, but rather that our inner state, our wisdom, courage, and life force is instantly enhanced to meet whatever challenges we face. The Lotus Sutra teaches us that all people possess the Buddha nature within them. This Buddha nature is like a brilliant light that exists in every person, but it often remains hidden beneath layers of doubt, fear, and negative karma. When we chant Daimoku, we're not trying to create something new or import something from outside ourselves. Instead, we're uncovering and activating the infinite potential that already exists within us. The sutra states, the Buddha seeds sprout through conditions. Our Daimoku creates the perfect conditions for our inherent Buddhahood to emerge and shine forth. Think about what happens when you're facing a difficult problem and you don't know what to do. Your mind might feel clouded, heavy, or stuck, but when you sit down and chant Nam-myoho Renge-kyo with determination, something shifts. Even if the external problem hasn't changed yet, you often find that your perspective becomes clearer, your energy increases, and solutions that weren't visible before begin to emerge. This is the light of Daimoku illuminating your situation from within. Nichiren Daishonin experienced this truth personally throughout his life. During his exile to Sado Island, facing harsh conditions and constant threats to his life, he continued to chant and teach others about the power of the Lotus Sutra. In one of his letters, he wrote about how, even in the darkest circumstances, the light of Daimoku remained unshakable within him. He understood that external hardships could not diminish the brightness of his Buddha nature once it was awakened through sincere practice. The simultaneity of cause and effect means that we don't have to wait until we become better people to experience the benefits of our practice. We don't need to perfect ourselves first before our prayers can be answered. The moment we chant with faith, we are already in the process of transformation. This is radically different from practices that focus on gradually purifying ourselves over long periods of time. With Daimoku, the purification and the benefit happen together, instantly. Consider how light behaves in the physical world. Scientists tell us that light travels at an incredible speed, about 186,000 miles per second. When you turn on a flashlight, the light doesn't need time to get ready or build up strength. It simply appears. In the same way, the light of our Buddha nature doesn't need time to develop or mature when we chant Daimoku. It manifests immediately, bringing wisdom, compassion, and courage to whatever situation we're facing. The Daishonin often use the metaphor of the sun to explain this principle. Just as the sun doesn't choose which places to illuminate, it simply shines, and everything within its reach is brightened. Our Buddha nature, when activated through Daimoku, illuminates every aspect of our lives simultaneously. Our relationships, our work, our health, our financial situation, our personal growth, all these areas begin to be influenced by the light of our awakened life condition. This understanding can be deeply comforting when we're going through difficult times. Sometimes people worry that their problems are too big, too old, or too complicated to be resolved through prayer. They might think, I've been struggling with this for years. How can a few minutes of chanting make any difference? But the Daishonen's comparison reminds us that it doesn't matter how long a place has been dark. Whether the darkness has lasted for 1 day or 10,000 years, a single flame can instantly illuminate the entire space. The Lotus Sutra reinforces this truth with its teaching about the infinite nature of our Buddha potential. In the sutra, Shakyamuni Buddha reveals that all beings can attain enlightenment, not through a long, gradual process, but through awakening to their inherent Buddha nature. The sutra describes this awakening as sudden and complete, like the sun emerging from behind clouds to reveal that it was shining brightly all along. When we truly grasp this principle, our whole approach to life's challenges transforms. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by problems, we can face them with confidence, knowing that the solution already exists within us and that our daimoku will bring it forth. Instead of feeling like victims of circumstance, we realize that we have the power to illuminate any darkness in our lives through our practice. The practical application of this principle is profound. Let's say you're dealing with a relationship problem that has been causing pain for months or even years. When you chant about this situation, you're not just hoping that the other person will change or that external circumstances will improve. You're activating the wisdom and compassion within yourself to handle the situation with greater understanding and skill. This inner change often leads to positive changes in the relationship itself, but the transformation begins immediately within you. Or perhaps you're struggling with financial difficulties. When you chant about your financial situation, you're not simply asking for money to appear. You're awakening your innate wisdom to make better decisions, your courage to take necessary action, and your ability to create value in ways you might not have imagined before. The light of Daimoku illuminates possibilities and resources that were always there but remained hidden in the darkness of your worried or defeated state of mind. Nichiren Daishonin taught that the depth of our faith determines how brightly this inner light shines. When we approach our practice with doubt or half-heartedness, it's like trying to light a room with a dim bulb. The light is there, but it's not strong enough to fully illuminate the space. However, when we chant with complete faith in the power of the Lotus Sutra and in our own Buddha nature, it's like turning on a powerful spotlight that banishes all shadows. This principle also explains why consistent daily practice is so important. Each time we chant, we're reinforcing this illumination in our lives. Just as we turn on lights throughout our house to keep it bright and welcoming, we use Daimoku to continuously illuminate all aspects of our existence. The more consistently we practice, the more natural it becomes for us to access this inner light whenever we need it. The beauty of this teaching is that it works for everyone, regardless of their background, education, or current life circumstances. A business person chanting for success in negotiations and a student chanting for clarity while studying are both accessing the same fundamental light within themselves. A parent worried about their children and someone dealing with illness are both using the same universal principle to transform their situations from within. The Daishonin emphasized that this light is not something mystical or separate from our daily reality. It manifests through very practical changes in our thoughts, words, and actions. When we chant with sincerity, we often find ourselves saying exactly the right thing in a difficult conversation, or suddenly seeing a solution to a problem that had seemed impossible. These are not coincidences, but the natural result of the wisdom and clarity that emerge when our Buddha nature is activated. Understanding the simultaneity of cause and effect also helps us maintain hope during challenging times. Even when external results aren't immediately visible, we can have confidence that our prayer has already been answered at the deepest level of our lives. The changes are working their way outward, like ripples spreading across a pond. Our job is to continue chanting, continue taking positive action, and trust in the process. As we deepen our practice and experience this principle repeatedly, our faith grows stronger. We begin to see that no problem is too great for the light of Daimoku to illuminate. No darkness in our lives, whether it comes from past mistakes, current difficulties, or fears about the future, can withstand the brilliant light of our awakened Buddha nature. This realization fills us with unshakable confidence and boundless hope, knowing that through our practice of Daimoku, we have access to an inexhaustible source of wisdom, courage, and compassion that can transform any situation we encounter.